Hello everyone, welcome to OME English. Here we are going to look about present simple. Present simple means something happens all the time or done by someone all the time. Or simply we can say a thing happens in the past, present, in the future also. We can use present simple when we talk about things in general, and we do not talk in present simple tense for the action that only happening now. We can say that something happens all the time repeatedly, and we do not consider whether the action is happening at the time of speaking. In this picture you can see a girl's daily activities. For an example, we can say she rides bicycle every day. Here we don't say she is riding bicycle every day because she rides the bicycle is a daily activity. Okay, let's see the rules. For the pronouns I, we, you, they, we have to use verb infinitive form. Verb infinitive we can say verb 0 form. It means we have to use the verb as it is. Here the example is they play cricket. Here we are using they as a pronoun, so we have to use verb infinitive form. So they play cricket. Therefore, we have to use the verb play in infinitive form. Then for the pronouns he, she, it, we have to use verb plural form. It can be verb plus s or es or ies. Here the example is he plays cricket. Here we are using he as a pronoun, play as a verb. In order to make this sentence as a present simple sentence, we need to use verb plural form with the pronoun he. So we change the verb play as a plural form as plays. So the sentence is he plays cricket. Okay, let's see some more explanations. The first one is a student goes by this road every day. A single student can be said he or she. So that's a third person singular. Therefore, we have to use the verb plural form. Here we use in the sentence is a student goes by this road every day. Here we don't need to say every day in the sentence, because if you say a student goes by this road, then the reader can understand this action is happening all the time. That's what this sentence is in present simple sentence. Next example is two students go by this road every day. Here we have to use the pronoun they for more than one person. Therefore, there are two students. We have to use they, then that is third person plural. So we have to use verb infinitive form. Therefore, the sentence is two students go by this road. Here also we can use every day, or the sentence without every day also is meaningful. The next one is I study but my sister studies. Here we are saying I study. For the pronoun I, we have to use the verb infinitive form. And we can say she for the sister. So we have to use verb plural form with the pronoun she. So we have to say my sister studies. Next one is my brother teaches but they teach. If your brother is a teacher, he teaches every day. So you can say my brother teaches. Here we have to use the pronoun he, so we have to use the verb plural form. Hence my brother teaches. But they teach. For the pronoun they, we have to use verb infinitive form. Therefore, but they teach. Both are daily activities. Okay, let's look some affirmative or positive sentences. First one is the train leaves at 8:30. Here we can use the pronoun it for train. Therefore, we have to use verb plural form. Then the sentence is the train leaves at 8:30. It means the train leaves at 8:30 every day, and it's a daily action. The next example is the school bell rings before all the subjects. Here we can use the pronoun it for bell, so we have to use the verb es form, it means verb plural form. Therefore, the sentence is school bell rings before all the subjects. The next one is my friends always come later. Here we can use the pronoun they instead of my friends. Then we have to use the verb infinitive form. Therefore, the sentence is my friends always come later. Next one is teachers strike against government. Here we can use the pronoun they instead of teachers. Therefore, we use verb infinitive form. The sentence is teachers strike against government. Here we are using present simple tense because it's an annual action. It can happen once in a month or annually once in a year. Therefore, for the repeated action, we can use present simple sentence. Next thing is do and does. You know that do and does are auxiliary verbs or helping verbs. We use do or does to form negative sentences and questions about general things which happens always. First, look the rules for the negative sentences in present simple. Here we are using don't with the pronouns I, we, you, they, and doesn't with the pronouns he, she, it, plus verb infinitive form. Here we don't use verb plural form because the words don't and doesn't itself expresses the present simple tense. Therefore, we don't need to change the verb form. Let's look some examples. First one is I don't like to go by train and he doesn't like to go by bus. Here we are using don't with the pronoun I and doesn't with the pronoun he, and all the verbs are in infinitive form. It's an daily action or personal preference. The next example is coconut doesn't grow in cold area. We can use the pronoun it instead of coconut. Then we can say it doesn't grow in cold area. It means it doesn't happen all the time. Next example is Maya doesn't drink coffee very often. Here we can use she as a pronoun. Therefore, we can use doesn't drink coffee very often. Here the word very often means a low time or a short period of time. It can be one day or 3 times in a day. It means she can drink coffee within 2 days or 3 days, but she doesn't drink coffee very often. Next example is we don't like to enter the exam hall. Here we are using the pronoun we, so we have to use don't as a helping verb. Therefore, the sentence is we don't like to enter the exam hall. It means some students don't like to go to the exam hall for all the semester or annually. Since this is a repeated action, we can use present simple sentence. Let's look the rules for the positive questions. Here we have to use do for the pronouns I, we, you, they, and does for the pronouns he, she, it, plus verb infinitive form. Here also the same rule. If we are using do or does in a sentence, we don't need to change the verb because do or does indicates the sentence tense. Here the present simple, so we don't need to change the verb if we are using do or does in a sentence. Here all the sentences are you don't know the thing you are asking for the first time. The first one is do you read books every day? Does it work properly? Where does he come from? How do they go for work? What does she mean? Here you can see that we are using do with you, does with it, or does with he, do with they, does with she, and all the verbs are in infinitive form. Read, work, come, go, mean, and all the sentences are repeated actions. For example, the last sentence is what does she mean? If a girl says a meaningless word, that is her habit. Therefore, you can use present simple here because a habit is a repeated action. Therefore, we can ask, what does she mean? Next, the rules for negative questions. Here we have to use don't with the pronouns I, we, you, they, doesn't with the pronouns he, she, it, and verb infinitive form. Here also need to use verb infinitive form for all the pronouns because don't or doesn't, it expresses the tense of the sentence. The first example is, don't you read books? Here we are using the pronoun you, therefore we have to use don't. The sentence is, don't you, verb infinitive form, that is read. So don't you read books every day? It means someone asking you that he or she thought you read books every day. Then they come to know that that's not true. Then with a disappointment, he or she can ask, don't you read books every day? Likewise, all the examples meaning in the same way. If you take the example, why don't they go for work in evening? If you are asking this sentence, it means you are expecting they go for work in evening, but that's not true. Therefore, with a disappointment or with a shock, you are asking. And here we have to use don't or doesn't with the correct pronoun, and all the verbs are in infinitive form. Here you can see read, work, come, go, know, all are the infinitive verb. Okay, that's all for this video. Thanks for learning. See you soon.